with thunderous amounts of applause as you greet the Spicy Alligators! Brian, Kathleen, Elisa, sure. I was kidding. Jan and Jeff. I almost did that perfectly. That wasn't as much of a test for me as it was for everybody else. But we're going to start with our short form games that I mentioned. This first one is called the Panel of Experts. And this is for Annie, Brian, and Ember. So Annie, Brian, and Ember will grab those folding chairs. Everybody else is going to have a seat. And we're going to meet 3 characters. Now, these characters happen to be experts on everything. From advice, if you need help with something in your life, or if you've got a burning question you just always wanted to know the answer to, or even if you need to know some trivia. They are experts in fact, everything. So let's meet them while you think of questions you might want to ask an expert on everything. Expert number 1, why don't you tell us your name and a little about yourself?
I'm Clarice Shiverton. I test out like horror movies and haunted houses and things. Create a baseline for the scariness, really.
So you create a baseline. So do you enjoy being scared?
No.
No. What's the scariest thing you've encountered in one of your haunted houses?
Shadows?
Dark.
It could be anything.
Yeah, it absolutely could. You're right. Well, it's nice to meet you, Clarice. Expert number 2, tell us your name and a little about yourself.
My name is Anastasia Inchovsky, and I am from Belarus in Russia. And my expertise is making the borscht.
Absolutely, yes. So, Anastasia, how did you develop your expertise in everything along with borscht? Where did your expertise come to you?
From my mother.
From your mother.
My mother, of course. From my mother.
Generational
Absolutely.
knowledge.
And she got it from her mother.
Of course.
Her mother's mother.
Yes.
And so on and so on and so on.
Lots of mothers.
I can go back like 20 generations.
I'm sure you can. Expert number 3, tell us your name and a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Xavier. I am a level 49 demon hunter. As you can see, I'm almost at level 50. My experience points show that above my head here.
Yeah, I see that.
So I usually keep my trusty crossbow with me. That's pretty much what takes care of the demons.
Yeah, so that's your weapon of choice. What's the most recent demon that you conquered? What kind of demon was it?
He was a pleasant demon. Kind of odd. I usually meet a lot of dangerous ones, but this one was very nice. He kind of got me a little closer to that 50 level.
No, that was nice of him. That was very nice of him to succumb to your conquering.
Yeah,
excellent. All right. So you've met our experts. They are, in fact, as I said, all 3 of them are experts in everything. So we're going to have all 3 of them answer any questions you might have. Does anybody here in our audience, and if you are watching on Zoom and if you've got a question, please type it into the chat and Julie will read them out. I see a question over here. What's your question?
So, my niece has been acting a little odd lately, and hearing mention of demons, I was wondering if anybody had any advice about exorcisms.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay. We'll start with Clarice. Clarice, do you have any advice for someone who might be in the market for an exorcism for their niece?
Run. First, scream, hide.
In that order?
Run, scream. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Maybe you can scream more after you hide, but it might find you.
That might defeat the hiding purpose.
Yeah. Don't try to exorcise a demon. Just get out of there. Get out of there.
Yeah, just cut and run. Sure. Anastasia, advice for someone who would like to exorcise their niece.
You have to make a poultice. Okay. Of beets, okay? You have to make a poultice of the beet leaves, okay? And you put it in a huge pot. Now, and you put 100 cloves of garlic. And you mix it all together until the water it evaporates. And you take this poultice and you put it all over the person, okay? All over the person. And then what you have to do is the person also has to eat 50 cloves of garlic. And when that happens, the demon will be gone.
I would hope so.
And everyone else.
And everyone else, yeah. It's going to clear a pretty
Your whole
wide,
family.
clear a
Everyone.
pretty wide swath there. With that's a lot of garlic. Thank you. Xavier, how would one approach exorcising demons from one's knees?
Well, me personally, I have my trusty crossbow, and I just use my silver tip arrow, and it'll directly pull it right from it'll exorcise the body directly from the heart. It'll pull it right out, and the body that will stay just perfectly fine and will be alive and good to go for.
That's a very magical crossbow
20 years.
indeed. Did you have to train to use that crossbow that is somehow non-lethal and yet?
I did it because I started off with a plastic crossbow with a rubber tip.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
didn't trust me very much.
No.
I just got the silver
I imagine
tip.
that just angers the demons to have like.
Oh
a,
yeah.
yeah.
Just they come right back at you.
Yeah,
It's tough.
That's tough. That's tough. Excellent. Thank you very much to all three of you. Julie, is there anybody in the chat who's got any questions?
We would like to know, if you could travel back in time, what would you tell your younger self?
Oh, what an excellent question. This is always so delightfully revealing. Anastasia, if you in fact could go back in time and visit your younger self, what might you tell young Anastasia?
I would tell young Anastasia to get involved in beauty products with the beats. Okay? Because I would be a billionaire. Okay? Like Zendaya and all of those people, you know, and Rihanna, because they have the beauty products, you know? And no matter what happens, you have the beauty products. So, with the beads, we would make beautiful lipstick that would stain your lips, and then we've got the beautiful rouge for the beautiful color. Then we would also have the stain for the hair too. So everyone would be a redhead and it would not fade, you know? Because that would be the best. Because, you know, when you dye your hair red, it doesn't last. It's just one washing and oof, it goes. But with the beads, oh my goodness, only twice a year you save so much money. Meanwhile, Anastasia is becoming a billionaire.
I like how you act locally but think globally. That's delightful. Xavier, if you could travel back in time, what would you tell young Xavier?
I would tell young Xavier, buddy, you should look for a different job because it's not paying the bills. I get a lot of experience, but I get no money for doing the things I do. I kill a demon, but, you know, I'm not getting paid for that. So I would probably tell him to, you know, go back to school and become a demon, maybe.
That seems lucrative. Clarice, what would you tell your younger self if you could go back?
I would tell her to never leave that tree house. And if she had to, just run and hide and don't become part of society because they'll take advantage of your greatest weakness. So you have to monetize it because the economy these days, you know?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I've never wanted to get a character a hug, so I need one final question. Is there anything anybody needs to know from our experts?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes. What's your question?
Have you ever tried to lure the demons into the haunted house using borscht?
Interesting. All right. Xavier, let's start with you. Have you ever, in fact, devised a demon trap in a haunted house made of borscht? And if so, how'd it go?
I would really like to hear more about that borscht because I've never tried that. I have a tough time catching them, but I feel like that borscht might work.
Yeah, I get the idea. Clarice, have you ever tried to, in fact, gather all the demons so that you can go the other way by putting some borscht in your haunted house? And how'd it go?
They don't need more demons, and the borscht would attract the demons to me before I could lure them away. Like, I would smell like it I already get chased by demons enough. Like, that's a terrible idea.
Can't argue with that. Anastasia, how would you feel about using borscht as a demon trap in a haunted house?
Oh, I've done it many a time. I make the most delicious borscht, and I give them free borscht, okay? I say, free borscht for you, free borscht for you. You know, so they come and they got the sour cream and they're eating the delicious borscht, and I say, you want more? You come in. So when they come in, they don't know it's a false floor. Okay? And underneath the false floor is an enormous, like hot tub sized, boiling borscht. It's the leftover borscht, really. It's just the leaves and stuff. And it's boiling. And so they come tiptoeing in and they're like, oh, more borscht for me. And then, boom, they go through the false floor and bye-bye, demon.
I think the three of you should probably go into business together. But let's thank our experts. I think we need to leave one chair behind. So we're going to leave one chair behind. Because next up, we have...